Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan. We're just doing a real quick video about our solar panels. People seem to ask us about them a lot, and they've been in some other videos and we talked about other things, and we're just going to kind of show people how it all worked real quick. And we definitely encourage people to look into it because it's free energy from the sun. So Jack's going to take over here, and I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit more. As you can see, if you look up here on the roof, we've got about 25 here, and then another 25 on the back. The reason is because that is facing south, and so you can see the sun there in the middle of the day coming down. Even though it's winter time, even though it's March, it's a pretty cold day out here actually. Still gets sun. So since we don't really have an area of the house, other than a couple areas, if you look up here in the garage, there's some that can face south, but for the most part we go east and west, and so half of them get hit in the morning, half of them get hit in the evening, and then in the afternoon they all get hit. And really a lot of people would think, hey, you can't have solar power here in a place like Cleveland, but you actually can. We do get a little bit less sunlight than some places like Arizona or Florida or someplace like that, but ultimately you just need a little bit more panels to compensate for that. So even though you pay to get the system installed, you basically would have a little bit more, maybe 10 or 20 more panels, 25 or 30 more percent to cover the fact that you're not going to get as much sun as you would in one of those kind of states, which really isn't that much more expensive, because once you get the system and everything installed, the additional cost to just add 10 or 20 more panels really isn't that much more. So if I lived somewhere like that, if we all lived somewhere like that, then we would have had to put less panels on. That's the only difference. The cost really isn't that substantial though once you reach that. So if you look back here in the back, come on over here a little more, you can see there's about another 25 on the back here and another few on the garage there. And so this here is how it all works. And basically they just hook up a couple extra meters, and this is called a bidirectional meter here. And what that does is that measures if we make more energy than we use, it actually sends those kilowatts back to First Energy, and our neighbors can use them. And then they pay us for that. So if we have periods out of the year where we produce more, like in the summertime, than we use, they pay us for that. And then we also get a bank of those kilowatts. They keep those for us, and then they pay us back. So we can use those during the winter months when there's not so much sun. It's really kind of cool how it all works, and it's not that difficult. There's a whole little computer program. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. But ultimately, they come, they do everything. We used a service called Yellow Light. Awesome. Our salesperson was Cody Cooper, great guy. Came out, did measurements, they figure everything out. They look at Google Maps, they figure out exactly how many you need based on your usage, and they calculate everything for you. We took a loan. The loan is a 12-year loan that is a very low interest rate, like 4%, and you can write off a third of that loan. So even though we took a loan, we got 30% back in our taxes that year, which was kind of cool. Huge lump sum. And then basically what happens is your loan payment is then based on what you used to pay for your electric bill. Now we have an all-electric home. We don't have any gas or anything like that. And we have a stretched out ranch. So there's like 2 furnaces, 2 hot water tanks, it's a lot of lights and switches and things like that. So we have 2 heat pumps, one on this side, one on the other side. Everything's electric. So basically what happens is we don't really have an electric bill anymore, and we pay the loan in lieu of that. But in 12 more years, we won't have a payment, and then we never have a bill ever again. Now the system is warranted for 25, so for 13 years after that, you don't have to worry about anything. Not only do you not have a payment on the loan is paid off, the panels are paid off, you don't have to worry about if something goes wrong with them because they're warranted for another 13. And then if they last you longer than that, which most of the people we've talked to, they do, right? So we've talked to people who've had them for 30, 40 years. A lot of our neighbors have put these in now and done this kind of conversion. So it's really, really awesome. We're going to show you inside real quick how this all works. We did recently buy an electric car. We're hoping to buy more. We have, sorry, trying to kick my shoes off here. We have, I'm going to take this over here. We have wood burning furnaces there. So those just run on a real small little electric fan. And Jack helps me stack all the wood and everything for that, right?
Yeah, and there's the clone trooper.
And there's the stormtrooper, yeah, the clone trooper. He's my assistant. Lacey heard us, so she's come to see what's going on. But I just want to show you this real quick, how this all works. So you have this database available to you. And so today, even in the middle of March, pretty sunny day, you can see we made almost 20 kilowatts already. This is just up until 1 p.m. And again, this would be like where there would be a cloud. And you can see where there would be some dips here. And just kind of file through here, it gives you an idea. So this would be a day we didn't produce very much. And then we go back a couple of days ago, Tuesday. Look at that, almost 53 kilowatts. So this would be when the sun was coming up. It's hitting the one side of the house. And then it hits both sides. In the middle of the afternoon, we're doing 2 kilowatts. 2,000 watts is 2 kilowatts. So 2 kilowatts every 15 minutes throughout this whole portion of the day here, for several hours. And then it tapers down when the sun sets. Not rocket science, but basically, you're going to have good days and bad days throughout the winter time. In the summertime, kind of show you a little bit more here. So this is a graph by day that kind of gives you a little bit of a better idea over the course of many years here. We've had this for several years now. This is like the winter time here. This is the summertime. So you have days like this where you make 71. Look at this, 72 kilowatts in one day, which we would never use that much. But again, then that gets stored. And you get a kickback from that. And the nice part about that kickback, it's not a lot. It might be $50 a month or so. But then that offsets your other utilities like your sewer and water and those things. So we're kind of, here was last year. We're coming out of winter. You can see there's already some better days here. And this gives you a little bit of an idea. So a day, let's say a day like this. Let's take a pretty high day here. Here's a really high day. So about almost 72 kilowatts. They give you an example here. So that one day was enough energy to run a refrigerator for 16 days, for instance. And it was equivalent to planting a tree for the displacement of carbon dioxide. Fuel a light bulb for 8 months. Here's a good one. Fuel a cell phone for 27 months. So, yeah, just in one day we made. Now, there's other days, again, that are going to be lower if they're covered with snow and things like that. But, again, that's really only 1 month or so solid out of the year. For the other months, you make much more, as you can see, and there's good days and bad days. But ultimately, at the end of the year, that's what really matters. So the nice part about this is we basically don't have to do anything to them, right? I mean, they're maintenance free. We don't have to do anything, right?
They just sit there.
And we've had them for quite a few years now. They will be paid off right around the time you graduate high school.
Yeah, and even if it snows or rains, it doesn't affect it at all.
A lot of times the snow just falls off of them when the sun hits them.
They're waterproof and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything to them. Right around the time you graduate high school, we'll be done paying for those. And then we'll never really have a bill again, which is a good thing because got to pay for college, right? Mm-hmm. So check out our other videos and stuff if you haven't.
And then hit the bell for notifications and like and subscribe if you like this video.
Yeah, awesome. And if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments, right? Mm-hmm. And check out some of our other things. We do a lot of stuff about conservation, health, wellness, fish tanks, some of our other hobbies. We're going to be talking about more gardening and yard stuff and some good ideas. We have a video about sprouting.
It's almost springtime, so we'll be doing a lot more things outside.
Yeah. So check them out. We like to just give people good ideas. If this is something you're interested in, we will put a link to Yellow Light in the description. And again, hit us up with questions or anything like that.